picks it up, and the reason why he picks it up is because he knows that that's the thing that can build back Cybertron. What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just web series we're talking about Transformers Last Night. This is episode number 125, and in this episode, what we're going to talk about is the Forge of Solus Prime. This is a topic that I've never discussed at all in my videos ever, and it's mainly because I really didn't have much to say about it. I've been reading all the comments, and a lot of people are saying that that hammer that Bumblebee wields to bash Optimus Prime in the head at the end of Transformers Last Night Super Bowl TV spot could be the Forge of Solus Prime. Now, the main reason why I chose not to talk about it is because it's been a while since I've seen Transformers Prime, and even though I really love the show, one of the great things about it is that it delved really deep into Transformers lore, and there's a lot of information to take in, and I actually forgot what the Forge of Solus Prime is, so that's why I decided not to talk about it, but we are going to talk about it. I think it's a very good topic of discussion, and I think that once you hear what I have to say, in fact, probably what I have to say in this video is a lot of things that you already know. I think that it's going to shed some light on what is really going on here. Now, before I talk about the Forge of Solus Prime, I just want to follow up on some of the things that I talked about in the previous episode. The topic of discussion on episode number 124 is about the, what's the deal with Galvatron? What is up with him? Where is he? And basically, my theory is that Megatron is Galvatron and Galvatron is Megatron, which is probably true. But, what do I know? I'm just a speculator, or rather doing some speculation, and I was reading all the comments, and actually, there are some comments I would like to bring to your attention that I thought were worthy of knowing about. Now, this is an image that was shared to me by Dallas Mace. First of all, thank you for sharing this image with me, Dallas. I really appreciate that. Now, this is from one of the comics, one of these Transformers comics. I'm not sure which one, but it is a story which shows that Megatron and Galvatron coexisted as two completely separate characters. And this is a very unique story, and it's something I'm completely unaware of, but it did happen. So this is evidence of these two characters sharing the same scene together as two completely separate characters. And the writers did mention that they are taking ideas and concepts from not only the previous films, but also the cartoons and the comics. And this is a concept from the comics. So this could happen. This can totally happen. Now, another thing that I would like to mention that a lot of people have shared with me in the form of YouTube comments is their theories about Galvatron and where he got his technology to form into something else. And that is one of the most obvious answers. And that is the answers right there at the end of Transformers Age of Extinction, and that is Lockdown Ship, which was last seen being shot down by Chinese Air Force jets. And eventually it's going to make its way to crash land. So perhaps, and this is the theory that a lot of people came up with in the YouTube comments, and that is Galvatron made his way to Lockdown Ship and got some sort of technology which allowed him to form into the new form and thus become a jet. So that could very well happen. It's a very plausible theory, and I think it's a good theory. But the thing is that the Lockdown Ship, a lot of things could have happened. It could have crash landed, it could have flown away by autopilot or something, who knows, but it's still a very good theory, and what you said could happen. What happened in the comics also could happen. Now, the reason why I'm going with my theory and just one theory instead of like a whole bunch of theories is because of the nature of the Galvatron character and his composition, and what he's made up of is KSI technology. And what the highlight of that KSI technology is that it's able to form whatever it wants. I don't know about y'all, but if you look at the robot mode of Galvatron, I don't see any truck parts, and that basically suggests that he can turn into anything he wants. And essentially, that's a very lazy way of doing it. And the Transformers films haven't been known for being overly complex, but who knows, maybe that's just one thing that they're going to retain from the previous film, and that is the fact that Galvatron retains that KSI technology, and because of that, he can form into whatever he wants, which is essentially the theory that I'm going with. But any of these theories that people have suggested are completely plausible. So thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate that. It's actually quite fun to read all your comments and theories. So thank you so much for all your contributions. Now, anyways, so what we're going to talk about now is the Forge of Solus Prime, and that is a concept that was introduced in Transformers Prime, which is a show that I really, really loved. I mean, I love G1, but I actually think Transformers Prime is actually even better than G1. G1 is great, but Transformers Prime is even better because it really, really it has great characters, great stories, and it introduces a lot of new concepts. So that's why I really like Transformers Prime. But like I said before, it introduces a lot of new concepts, and some of them have been forgotten by myself. So I decided to do some reading up on what exactly is the Forge of Solus Prime, and to find out what is the Forge of Solus Prime, the first thing you gotta do is know who is Solus Prime. So I went to tfwiki.net, and I did a little bit of educating myself, and I'm just gonna read you the first couple of sentences from this page. Among the 13, Solus Prime is the maker and creator. Among her friends, she is loved both for her abilities to forge nearly any device they need and for her intelligence and positive, supportive personality. If she has any flaw, it is a fierce and angry temper that quickly flares up at any sign of injustice. So, Solus Prime is a female. She's also the maker and creator. Those are keywords right there. We have a female voice in the Super Bowl TV spot, and Optimus Prime referred to her as my maker. So, you know what? If they're taking inspiration from Transformers Prime, that voice could be Solus Prime. She is the maker and creator after all, and maybe that's where they're taking the ideas from. Another thing that's very, very interesting to know is that she has the power and intelligence to create anything she wants. She has the ability to forge any type of device. So right now, what we know that needs forging is Cybertron itself. Cybertron is in trouble. It is completely destroyed. Maybe she is the one that can really bring Cybertron back to life. Now let's talk about the Forge of Solus Prime. This is the TF Wiki page for Forge of Solus Prime. There's a little bit of reading, but just bear with me. The Forge of Solus Prime is a symbol of office of the Master Artificer of the 13. Oddly, it is not actually a forge in the classic sense, but rather a hammer, the size of which suggests that Solus Prime and her brothers towered over modern Cybertronians. Utilizing the power of a miniature neutron star at its very heart, the forge operates through the convergence of magic and science. It is not known just how powerful the forge is, but it is believed that it can be used to make anything out of anything, with the possibilities only being limited by the skill and knowledge of the Prime welding it. The forge was used to craft many of the other artifacts of the 13 and is noted to be one of the few things which could craft the core components of a Cybertronian body from scratch on its own. The forge is a capable tool, but only Solus Prime's integrated creation lab allowed the forge to reach its full potential and create weapons and artifacts of supernatural power. On the bright side, its sheer mass can certainly be used to pack a slagging huge wallop that's second only to the Star Saber. That thing is so heavy that only a select few have the strength to carry it without any difficulty. So we've learned a lot of things about the Forge of Solus Prime. First of all, it is something that Solus Prime uses to create things, and she can create anything out of anything. And if anybody wants to carry it and to create things, it's limited to what they know based on their knowledge and intelligence and skill. Another thing is that if they are not a Prime, or the welder, the Cybertronian that's welding is not a Prime, they can at least use it as a weapon, but only a select few who have the power to physically hold it are the ones that can use it as a weapon. So that's what we gather. So let's just look at all the keywords. Magic and science. They mentioned magic and science. Magic is something that is definitely a concept that's going to be explored in Transformers Last Night. After all, they're taking the whole King Arthur story and bringing it into the mix, and which involves Merlin, and Merlin is a magician, so magic is being involved there. Bumblebee smacks Optimus Prime with a giant hammer, so maybe if Bumblebee can't use it to build things, after all his skill level is probably quite low, he can at least use it as a weapon, and maybe that's probably the only weapon that can actually beat Optimus Prime. And the next thing is that the Forge of Solus Prime is used to create things, and I don't know what they're going to use to create with the Forge of Solus Prime, but maybe what they need is actually the Forge of Solus Prime to build back Cybertron. It's just a theory that I have, because that's one of the things that is a ongoing theme in the Transformers live action films, and that is Cybertron has been destroyed, and they want to bring it back to life. I mean, because in some ways they're kind of responsible. I mean, they are responsible for what happened to Cybertron. So that's that. Now, there's one more thing that I want to read to you, and just if you scroll down here, it just refers to more about the Forge of Solus Prime in the Transformers Prime cartoon. I'm just going to read you this one line. Before the Great War, the Forge of Solus Prime was kept in the vaults of Iacon, but was hidden on Earth to keep it out of the wrong hands. Millions of years later, its location was decoded by the amnesiac Optimus Prime. That's all I want to read to you. Okay, so keywords, okay? Hidden on Earth. Second thing is that the location was decoded by the amnesiac Optimus Prime. So, Optimus Prime, as we already know, based on the trailers and Super Bowl TV spot, he's not necessarily amnesiac, but he is amnesiac. He is actually somebody who's maybe under mind control, or he can't think straight, but his mind is not working right. So maybe he's the one that actually was able to bring the Forge of Solus Prime up from the vaults of Iacon, which is actually the thing that rises up. Maybe it's not really the vaults of Iacon, but it's something. And that is where the Forge is located. But it's been hidden there for a very, very long time on Earth until they have found it. And maybe, just maybe, here's what I got. Solus Prime is the maker. Okay? Solus Prime tells Optimus Prime that if you want to rebuild back Cybertron, you got to redeem yourself. Do you seek redemption? Then you have to find the Forge of Solus Prime, which is located in the ocean, in the vaults of Iacon, which is located in the ocean. They bring it back up somehow, and then he picks it up, and the reason why he picks it up is because he knows that that's the thing that can build back Cybertron. But in order to get to Cybertron, they need a space bridge of some kind. And there's no space bridge available right now. There just isn't, okay? So what he does is he takes the Forge of Cybertron, he heads over to Stonehenge, and he builds a space bridge out of the Forge of Solus Prime. But before he can do that, Bumblebee and Optimus Prime have to have a fight. So Bumblebee takes the Forge of Solus Prime from Optimus Prime. He doesn't know how to use it in the magical sense, but he at least uses it as a weapon. So that is my theory. This is something that I'm sure is a lot of the theories of a lot of other people, because, it's the most obvious thing out there. Because if you know Transformers Prime, then you know the story. This is just something that I took off TF Wiki. I haven't watched Transformers Prime in a long time, so I can't really remember what is going on, but the fact is that this is exactly what happened, and based on what it says here, then you can really put together a story out of it, and in a way, it's possible that that is what could really happen. So anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you believe will happen, if not this. Maybe you have a different version of what I've just said. I would love to know about it in the comment section below, so please make your contributions, and I would love to read about it. So that's all I gotta say in this episode. I would like to bring to your attention to these wonderful Twitter people, Twitter followers, because what they did is that they retweeted my last video, and I said that if you retweeted my last video, I would give you a random shout out. A lot of people retweeted my last video, but I'm only gonna give random shout outs, so these were picked at random. Shoutouts go out to J Motion, Catman, Rob Wilson, Suzerates and Tex, JBS Fish 123, Mario 77, Snow Cohen 2, and Carolina Dog. Happy birthday to all y'all. Hope you have... Wait a minute. It's not happy birthday. Thank you so much for retweeting my videos, the last episode, and I really, really appreciate that. For those that did the Watchin' Ragin' Nation Instagram thing, that will be... a shout out will be given on episode number 127. I just want to wait for a couple of more photos before I do the final shout out. So that's that. Now, the last thing I want to do is just read you this little message. This was from Daniel Tracy, and I thought this was a really, really sweet message, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, okay? Okay, wow, I don't know how to start this. Okay, well, first of all, I really appreciate you if you're reading this. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. On July 22nd, 2014, I walked into my local movie theater with my dad. I finally pushed him to go out with me because he had a bad foot injury, and I wanted to get him out of the house because I didn't want him to get cooped up. The movie we went to see is Transformers Age of Extinction. I've seen every Transformers movie with my dad, so it was only fitting. We saw the movie, and I didn't like it. I was so disappointed. I went to see it a second time, and it still had no effect. Transformers was my childhood life right beside Power Rangers. I was literally depressed. I gave up on the franchise completely, but then it happened. I went into YouTube and I saw your video, Top 10 Transformers Age of Extinction action scenes, and then Optimus Prime dies in TF5. Those videos showed me something. If you're still reading, I appreciate you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you have brought me back into a universe that I thought I lost hope on. Your videos have inspired me and made me happy. Now TF4 is one of my most favorite movies, and I know this sounds like a big attention-seeking message. Really, I don't care about the attention. The reason why I'm writing this to you is because you deserve it. You have inspired me back into this movie universe. Because of you, I now have 8 Leader Class toys, 15 Deluxe Class, and I pre-ordered Dragonstorm, Steelbane, and Shadowstorm Optimus Prime, and I live in Ireland. Ragin' Nation, thank you so much for saving not only my hope in this universe, but my life. Me and another 120 million people will be sitting right beside you on June 23rd for the most climatic and anticipated Transformers movie of them all. Keep making those videos, man. You are brilliant at them. A true follower and fan. P.S. If you've read all of this, thank you so much for your time. So that was a pretty long read. Thank you so much, Daniel Tracy, for sending me this really thoughtful message. I really, really appreciate it. I've actually read a lot of messages and comments where a lot of people have said that they were really not interested in Transformers anymore. And it was mainly because they were disappointed in the previous film they had just watched. But then they saw my videos, and then it just kind of built up some more excitement to them. I can't guarantee that it will be a great film, but it's fun to anticipate a film like this, especially if you were a fan in the past. So, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I appreciate you guys listening to what I have to say, because even though a lot of the films are not that great in a storytelling sense to some people, in some people's opinions, I still find some greatness in them. I don't think that they're like outstanding films at all, but I find them very, very entertaining. I find that they've put a lot of work into bringing these characters to life, and really, really showing us that giant freaking robots are like standing right next to humans in real life, in a movie, of course, on a big screen. Like, they've really convinced us that this can happen, and we now have Transformers live action films. You can say what you will about them, like in a negative way, and say what you will about Michael Bay, but the fact is that a lot of people really enjoy these films, and it might take a little bit of time to get used to, and it might be an acquired taste, but I'm just looking to be entertained, and I'm just looking for some of my favorite characters to be engaged in giant robot combat, and also have me care about some of these characters. So that's all I really ask for in these films, and I feel that I've gotten that, and for the most part, I've been really, really entertained. And that's what I would like you guys to have, to experience. Just be entertained, have a good time, have some fun, go in with no expectations, and I'm sure you will come out feeling that you had a good time. And at the end of the day, that's why we watch movies. To escape realities, and really just to take us into a larger than life fictional world that could never exist in real life. But thankfully, thanks to, you know, the like Hollywood and the filmmakers, they can create these worlds for us to enjoy. So that's all I really got to say. So thank you so much once again, Daniel, for sending me this great message. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all those that support me. I won't be doing what I do right now if it weren't for you guys. Really, all I wanted to do was just share my thoughts about movies and Transformers, and somehow it got into what it is now. And it's a wonderful thing, and now we can discuss it openly in a public forum, and we can create a discussion where a lot of fans can really interact with each other. So I really appreciate that, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you so much. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about in the next episode is actually the Bumblebee movie, and because of that, it can't be a Road to TF5 episode. I'm going to have to start a new series, and I decided that I'm going to title it Bumblebee's Journey. So that'll be Bumblebee's Journey, episode 1. You're not going to want to miss that episode. I'm pretty sure you guys have already read the big announcement, but we're going to talk about it in a new episode, or rather a new series, and it's called Bumblebee's Journey. Stay tuned for episode 1. You're not going to want to miss that. So, as always, if you want to see more videos and you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Civilization that once thrived on Cybertron. As he returns once again, the Decepticon will stop at nothing until he has fulfilled